Hi, this is Amelia and Elizabeth, and we are here with Gary Flick and Chris Houston from Suede Radio. Thank you for having this interview with us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Excited.
Yeah, thank you for having us. It's great to hear from you guys.
That's all right. So, how's everything been going for you guys with COVID? Fill us in.
Go for it, Chris, because you're a little more involved in the music industry in your non-Suede Radio life.
yeah. If it's all right if I chat about that for a minute. Yeah, it's been interesting. The reason I've been given an opportunity to play in a band again, which has given me the opportunity to play bass in Suede Radio, is kind of because of COVID, in a kind of good way, in a lot of ways, with all the
hell yeah, COVID.
It's happened. It's was as Milz and Liz both know, hosts of the show here. We kind of met as me working for bands as a roadie a few years ago, when I came through Australia with a band, and it's been what I've done for a long time, and I've always still enjoyed playing. But now that all kind of came to a halt in March this year, and Suede Radio needed another person to help play the low end of the band, and good friend of mine, our drummer Aaron Adams, politely asked me if I thought I could play bass again in a band, and I said I think so. And he said, "Well, you might have some time off now, given the situation. This could be your calling to play in a band again." And I think he was right. And Gary, our lead man in the band, if you could say that, and Tyler, our other guitar player in the band, kind of all trusted in me, and I think I did okay because they still kept me around. So yeah.
Oh yeah, he's dope.
And you guys got lucky that you got him, because he's always on the road. So you guys lucked out.
For sure. And even when biz starts back up again, we can just work around it, and maybe even we were talking about some way jumping on a tour or something that may happen someday.
That's exciting. Keep us in the loop for that one.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely. I feel like in as much you can focus on the negativity of this year in many ways, and I was starting to do that, and then this band kind of pulled me out of that, to be honestly. That's truthfully from my heart, and it's made me feel like there's always I don't know if the term is silver lining, but there's always good in the negative space.
And how was your band formed? Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, actually, an easy segue from what he was just saying. I worked at a small music venue in San Diego where Housty actually set up the live sound so we could have bands, and I eventually went from bartending to booking bands there, and he and I got to know each other because of that there bar, as well as the other two people who are in our band. I believe you knew Aaron for quite some time before the harp, right? Or did you guys meet there too?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I met Aaron Adams, our drummer, by the jukebox at the Harp in Ocean Beach, San Diego, which is in a different place 12 years ago when I was 18.
Yeehaw!
but it's that's where I first met him, and then you're right. Yeah, that's kind of where we all kind of first met. But then, yeah, that is where I met him. But go ahead, Gary.
Yeah, I mean, that's the long and short of it. We met at a dive bar that I wound up working at too, and we all just ran our mouths a bunch about playing music and finally said, well, shit, let's do it. And we played, and it sounded all right.
When Housty was like, oh, yeah, we met by a jukebox, I was like, that sounds romantic.
It was very, I don't know if it was romantic, it was very Suede, though, that's for sure.
Crazy side story. When I met them, 5 years later, they were holding hands at the same jukebox making out. I made that up.
That may or may not be true, allegedly, but it's probably true.
I can't back that up. I'm sorry.
What is true about that place where we all met is that Gary, who I now play in a band with, poured the best Jameson in a glass that I've ever drank in my life, because it's an Irish pub next to a beach in California, and he, knew exactly how to pour a drink for somebody from small town Iowa, and he's from kind of a small town area himself where he grew up, and he knew how to pour a proper Irish whiskey. That's what I can say about Gary.
Woohoo! Yeah.
Is that like an overpour, or is it just like a full glass of whiskey? What is a proper one?
Well, the bartender's handbook would state that you do a solid 2 count, but when your friends come into an Irish pub and you've seen their faces a few times, that becomes a solid 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. It's earned in repetition, if you will.
I was in France, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll get a vodka lemonade, and then majority of the glass was vodka, and there was like a tiny little bit of lemonade at the top, and I was like, I'll take a sip, and I almost choked on it.
Yeah, I can't. I'm bartended, but I'm actually a wuss with liquor. I can't do stiff drinks.
No, neither can I.
That's not very rock and roll of me.
I've seen Housty do it, though. Housty's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, those guys pick up my slack, and I drink a ton of beer.
Yeah, that's the funny part, is the rhythm section in our band, if you will, drummer and bass player are connoisseurs of the whiskey, and not that the rest of the band aren't, but basically the rest of the band know how to pour them great and enjoy them, and the rhythm section drummer and myself enjoy them more than we enjoy pouring.
How did you come up with your band name?
I got really high and thought it was cool, and I was in a band, and we hadn't had a name yet, and I was like, what about this? And then they're like, no, that's dumb, and I was sad for a long time about it.
Yeah.
And then one of the guys turned out to be a racist turd, so we broke up, and I was like, yeah, I can use that again, and then these guys liked it, and it was a wonderful day.
Well, that's good. You finally got to use your band name.
Yes, indeed. It had been in my back pocket for quite some time. Not that it's even that great, but, I like it.
I think it's a good name.
Yeah,
Woohoo!
if the world could see what's in the back pockets of Gary Flick, the world would be a better place, I think, honestly, because everything comes out of his back pocket has amazed me. I will say that.
Maybe you should run for president.
Oh, I know I don't sound super smart, but I'm not that stupid.
But you could actually do something good.
What I do know is I haven't. I'm saying it like live on the air now. Something I've never even told Gary, I think. But maybe I did. Maybe it was after one of those amazing Irish whiskeys he poured me. And maybe I told him before we ever started playing in a band together. But if I didn't then, I'm going to right now in front of whoever's listening. Gary has always been my true GF, because those are his initials. And he's the best GF any boy could ever have.
I'm once again blushing.
This one night by the jukebox, I met my GF. It was a romantic night.
I guess it's known the bass player in the band is like the hopeless romantic. I'm blushing too now.
I saw that he had a band name in his back pocket. I said, "What's that?" And that is how we got our band name. There's question answered.
Yeah, there you go. That's it, isn't it?
Have you guys seen that meme? It's like the singer gets all the ladies, and then the guitarist gets the next amount, and then the drummer gets like the next amount, and then the bass player gets like one or not.
Wait, the next amount of what? What are you speaking of? I've never heard of this ever.
I actually saw one similar, but then I had the bass player holding on to like 3 degrees and like engineering equipment, just like Chris is really good at, and like a wife and 6 kids.
Oh, you're too kind.
But I like them both equally.
So, if you could have any band play one of your songs, which band would it be? Which song would it be? And would it be in your style or their style?
Lead it off, brother.
Okay, so this is from the original record of Suede Radio before I joined the band, but there's a song called "Brand New Chevrolet," and I thought about I've thought about this for a long time. A band that I think pretty much all of us in the band are a fan of. This band called Rage Against the Machine, and I've always imagined them trying to play Brand New Chevrolet in their style, and it's always been a dream of mine to hear them be able to do that, and I think they would kill it.
Nice. I love Rage Against the Machine. They're a great band.
I hate to be a bore, but yeah, that's probably what I'd say.
Did I steal yours, Gary? I hope I didn't steal yours.
Well, I honestly had. Sorry about my dog. I had Stevie Wonder written down as soon as I heard the question, but in his style, which would be really cool. But like when Chris started talking about that, I'm 32, so slowly the posters have come off my wall. The only one still on my wall is Rage Against the Machine, so that would just be...
Is that because they just fell off from the glue tack, or because you took them down?
A little bit of both. There's a couple still lying on the floor from back in college 12 years ago.
And your song Premonition is being released this month, so can you tell everyone more about that?
It was... So, I think Chris mentioned before, we had a couple songs on the interweb. I kind of wrote those when I was just bummed and alone for a while, and then these fellas made them much, much better. But the two songs that we're releasing this month, one that will have come out when people hear this, but yeah, it comes out on Monday, December 21st. But it's the first one we really wrote together as a band, which I think in almost any situation, 4 noggins are better than one, and I'm really, really excited. I think the stuff before was okay, but the stuff we wrote together is pretty darn good, and I'm excited. We're just releasing singles as we record them.
Oh.
But no, it's quite all right. But I mean, ultimately, after 10 or so, we're trying to do one every couple of months. We have 2 recorded now, so we're releasing one December, one January. It's looking like one a month. So yeah, probably end of summer was when they all wrapped up, and we can make it a package deal, and hopefully we can be playing some live music by then too.
I would argue that definitely by the summer, the way this band writes music, it's like we send so much to each other, even when we're not jamming together, to write songs that have become songs that the new ones you're going to hear even that we throw out more than we keep, and we don't throw them out meaning they're completely in the garbage. They're like on the back burner maybe, but
well, there's so much room in our back pockets now.
Exactly, there's so much room in our back pockets now that definitely the full record will be out next year, hopefully in the heat of us being able to go and tour it as well.
Yeah, we can't wait till you start touring. So do you have any dates that you want to do?
Just because of everything being so wishy-washy, if you will, we're just kind of coasting, but all eagerly coasting. I think that's a good answer. We're all on board. As soon as the lever drops, if you will, all 4 of our lives, which is very important for a band, are in places right now where we can all go to Australia tomorrow and play music for a month, and it does not affect much. So we're very, very excited. And obviously that was discussed before we decided to really become a band and take it seriously. So it's nice.
Well, I love that you actually discussed that, because a lot of bands are like, okay, let's start a band and let's not talk about anything else.
Right. And I had been guilty of that and made some splendid friends along the way.
Yeah.
So have I, and that's what I said to Gary in the beginning. I said that there's that I was privileged to play in the bands I played in kind of before I became a roadie per se, but I appreciate to the core of my heart the honesty in this band, which makes me feel privileged and honored to play in a band again, because we are all, it's like the brothers I've never had in a way, and we can all, the good and the bad, we can all talk about together, even if it's not easy. That's what I appreciate about this band, and it's made me want to be in a band again. 100%.
Woohoo! I was gonna say, but I think the part people don't really understand is you have to kind of run a band like a business if you want to be successful. So
100%. And Chris has worked in live sound for a long time, so he's been brushing shoulder. I mean, that's in the business.
Yeah.
And I've worked at a music venue booking bands, so it's a lot of folks that have seen the sides other than just let's make music and see what happens, which is nice and important, especially. We're not 18. We're getting old. We got to do some shit.
Yeah, we're on our. Most of us are at least not to date everyone. We're at least on our third decade of this world, and that's great. That's what we've talked about before. Is we feel grateful that outside of just being on stage or just recording music, everyone in this band has very unique skills outside of like their position in the band. I feel like like Aaron Adams, our drummer, is like the best artist I've ever known, and he is all on the art of the band. And Tyler is an amazing person with writing, and as you are too, Gary, and helping with the social media stuff. I feel like I'm so behind on, and I know some stuff about the music business, and it's like we meld. We're a good melting pot as a band. I feel.
I admire what Housty does as well. So.
Yeah, I can order the shit out of a pizza.
Sweet. Don't forget to get one for me as well. I want pizza too.
You got it. Hell yes.
So, what's your favorite memory watching a different band perform live? Can you tell us a story?
Yeah, go for it, Gary.
I was gonna say, I assume, given Chris's line of work, that his is way cooler than mine, so I'll go first. I was, I think, 20 or 21, maybe just 21, which is the drinking age in the United States. Yeah, 21 here. You can get shot in one of those wars we sent everybody to at 18, but don't drink a beer. I digress. So there I was in New York City, and Tool was one of my favorite bands, and certainly a big influence in the shit I write. I had never seen them. It just, the stars would never align. I couldn't make it. Didn't have money, whatever. And finally got to see them in New York City with like the skyline in the background, with my best friend, who I hadn't seen in like 3 years because after college I moved to Southern California. And we aside from all that cool stuff, being 20 rows deep, they just blew my socks off. And truly, just as like a music fan, it was still to this day, I believe, the best show I've ever seen, on top of all that other cool mushy bullshit.
That's cool. I have seen Tool live. They're awesome. They're really good.
Yes. Are we allowed to ask, what about you?
Yeah, sure, I guess so. What about me? Okay, I'm not gonna pick one band because I've photographed over 300 bands. So for me to pick,
hell yeah.
for me to pick one band, it would kind of be impossible. I will say though, my favorite thing to do every year is Hellfest, because every time I walk into that media area, it's like walking into a second family. So
that's awesome.
It's not necessarily a band, it's just the atmosphere of a festival, which is Hellfest, and I love it there. So
that's fantastic. All right, Red, hit us. What's yours?
Oh, mine. So I thought about this, and so when I was I know a funny story. My not to make this a sad part of the show, but so my mom passed away in April of this year, just a couple days after my birthday. But there was this time when I was 17 years old where there were students learning to be like good dentists at the college an hour away from the town I grew up in 2007. And my mom took me down there, and there was this dentist that said, "Hey, if I can give you like an old school style filling, like one that's not clear, but one that looks like a metal in your back tooth. He said, that will help me graduate, and I will do it for free, and I will give you, $300. And my mom said, well, you've been wanting to go see Roger Waters play the Dark Side of the Moon at the Quest Center in Omaha, Nebraska. And she said, you said you don't have enough money for it, and I'm not just going to give it to you. She said, this could be a way. And I said, you know what? Yeah, go for it. I trust this guy. And so this guy put a filling in my tooth, fixed it, and still held up to this day. I'm 30 years old now, 13 years later. And he gave me the money that paid for me going to see Roger Waters play Dark Side of the Moon just before I started my senior year of high school. And I remember sitting in that audience. I was about halfway up, kind of pretty good seats, like not right in the front by any means, but not in the back, kind of in the middle somewhere, not on the floor either. But all my friends, we went down to see them, and I remember looking around and seeing so many different situations. People who were happy, people who were crying, a pregnant woman with her husband, father to be, and all this. Just like everyone was in a different situation in life, and I thought, you know what, this is what I want to do. I want to be a part of this experience, and any way I can do it, I want to. And that's when I really started looking into like being a roadie, I guess, and trying to help provide that experience for people, because I see myself in a lot of crowds that I work for as a roadie. When I look out, like, this is the best part of their week, their month, their year, their life, experiencing something like that. And that was my most memorable concert experience when I was 17.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for that.
I saw him when he came to Sydney. He put on a really good show. Did he have the flying pig that went around the audience?
He did. Yep.
And did he have the wall that came down the whole middle?
No, that was a different tour.
Okay.
That I didn't get to go to because it wasn't that far apart from that tour to the next tour you're describing. But I was working in the industry by then. It was like crazy. It was like it happened that fast for me, and I didn't get to see that because I was busy working. But I would have loved to.
So, what was the first band you ever saw live then?
This is not good.
Oh, you might say mine's not good too, but I will say it honestly.
That's okay, mine's not good either. So,
I was playing Little League Baseball at the time, and this horrible band that I hope, for the world's sake, never left America, called Smash Mouth had a song that went, "Hey now, you're an all-star."
I love Smash Mouth.
I'm jealous.
Oh man, can I tell a slight side story? It'll take like 8 seconds.
Yeah, of course you can.
Yes.
We love Smash Mouth, by the way.
Oh, I'm so well. Respectfully, I do not.
Okay, go.
They may have put on a great show that night. I don't remember. I was 12. But nonetheless, so fast forward 10 years, I went to college for journalism, and I had a job doing the music beat at a local newspaper near Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And Smash Mouth came through, and a couple other bands let me interview them for the paper, and they wanted to charge me $10,000 for an interview, and this was like 12 years after anybody had heard them play a song. So this is a small town too, and there was an open jam afterwards, and the band Tonic, if you could only see the way she loves you, that was their big tune. They were the nice.
Oh, I know their big tune. That was huge in the Midwest where I grew up.
They were the nicest guys in the world, and they were like on the same little like '90s woohoo Americana tour.
Yeah.
And I asked them if they wanted to come to this open jam I hosted at a shithole bar, and they did after their show.
And then the dude from Smash Mouth shows up, and he wouldn't play music. The Tonic guys were jamming and entertaining, and he just sat.
No, I saw your younger face. It's even cuter then.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. That was such a long answer, but that's it.
That wasn't a long answer. That was hilarious.
Oh yeah, I think the dream job is being an opening spot on a huge tour, because you're done by like 7:30, and then you can just get smashed, or maybe you like reading books, whatever's your thing, and just hang out.
Do you see why I love this band and why I joined a band with him and the others? Is because he gets it. And as a roadie, I've seen it firsthand. As if you can go in and be a kick-ass, opening band, like bands like Greta Van Fleet have been, and Royal Blood used to be an opening band too. Everyone used to be an opening band. And you know what? If you can just go out there, give your all, and sure, like maybe money's different and this and that, but what Gary just said is.
Well, I love it. Dee Snider came to Australia, and he was like 3 songs in. He was like, okay, well, this is the song you guys wanted to hear, right? And he sang, we're not going to take it 3 songs in. And then he was like, now if you're here for that song only, you guys can just leave now.
That's awesome. That's mega.
I know, right? I was like, that is one of the best things I have like seen or heard of at a gig. I was like, fuck yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's A+.
Last question: is there anything else you would like to say to your fans?
All I have to say is like, fans are friends, and we really appreciate people listening and checking stuff out. I know it's corny and cliche, but it's very much the truth. Especially now more than ever, music doesn't really exist without people listening to it. So, woohoo! And thank you both very much.
Thank you. Of course. Anytime.
All right.
Yeah, we definitely really appreciate it, and I guess the other thing we could say is, given you kind of our merch website to add to your page, maybe it's Christmas time-ish, and we have a merchandise website that sells. I haven't counted them all individually, but it seems like at least over 100 items that you can get Suede radioed out on. Everything from T-shirts to sweatshirts to coffee mugs to handkerchiefs for your dog to shot glasses to
kitchen aprons.
But yeah, just so many options, and just hopefully we can put it to use and put it on your website. I guess the only thing I do want to say, with the release of the Premonition, we do have a GoFundMe set up to help a group called the Border Angels. That is a group that helps families that are not given properly legal representation, where you hear about kids coming from Mexico and their parents, children getting locked up because of their parents trying to give them a better life and this and that, and just the Border Angels. Gary might be able to talk betterly about them, but just doing good things for people who are humans as well. They're not trying to get a free ride from America. They're not trying this and that as much as people want to think. They're doing a good thing. I don't know if you want to elaborate on that, Gary, or not.
Chris here and I guess the only thing other to mention is personal. Chris and I both live in Tijuana, Mexico, over the border at least about half the time. And
Yep.
It's just a wonderful country, and there's a really negative stigma for just thrust into America's brains that for whatever reason, if you're not American, you suck. And it's so silly, and it's not how we all think, I promise. It's just, it's something to help out people. I mean, they literally, if mom and dad come over and a child is born in the States, that child is technically legal, but the parents can go back over, and then these kids don't have families. That's ridiculous. So it's helping. You can on our little Spotify there, you can donate right to it, and also every tune that we sell on the interweb for as long as we can. We're gonna send half of it that way too. So.
Oh, that's sweet.
Woohoo! Oh. Yeah,
Excellent.
it's a good.
Gary, are there specific hashtags or links to get to our social media for Suede Radio?
On Instagram, it is at Suede Radiogram, SuedeRadiogram. Facebook is just Suede Radio, and then all of the streaming services, Spotify in particular, will also be always updated with shows and stuff when they happen.
Unless you speak up and from hearing this show right now, let us know if you are a fan or not.
And as honest as I am about that statement, as a music fan, these tunes are good, though. Check them out, please.